Eddie, just how do you feel like, kind of as a leader in this group, the defense has come out in the first 3 practices in terms of energy, execution, all that kind of stuff?
I think in the first 3 practices, we've been very aggressive, like playing really fast and really comfortable with everybody on the field. And I like the fact that we can just rotate random people in. Like sometimes I'm in with me, Shad Nichols, sometimes it's Bookie, and I just feel completely comfortable and trust that he can make those keys and make those calls. So it's been pretty nice so far.
What is it about Bookie that made him able to ingratiate himself just almost like that in the defense?
It's weird because it really feels like Bookie was in my class the second he got here. So it's just from the very get-go, he was always he didn't distance himself. He really tried to be a part of this group and part of this family. So it was just easy for him to do that, and he also wanted to just be great. So I'd say that it was easy for that because that's all we wanted to be. We wanted to be great. He wanted to be great. So it was just a great match.
Eddie, you've obviously been here for a couple of years. When you look at the group that you have out there right now and that group of guys, how do you feel like this group compares to previous groups in terms of talent, athleticism, what you guys are capable of? Just how would you compare this defense to the last couple of seasons?
I think, we have the potential to be a great defense. We have speed in the perimeters, we have great D tackles, and we have very, very talented outside backers. But, that's talent, now the job is to do it and to maximize our potential, right? So, I like where we're at, but we just have to work. It's all about the work.
Can you talk about the chemistry with you and Jackson both out there at the same time?
Oh, yeah. It's me and Jack kind of think the same thing at the same time. So it's he doesn't even have to tell me something I'm already thinking. So it's just because we watch so much film, we talk football so much, and we always ask each other questions on, if this were to happen, what would we do? I think I'd do this. Okay. If you do this, then I'm going to do this. So it kind of there's some place where we don't even speak, and we're passing off people, even though we're really not supposed to, but it's just because we just have it's kind of like twins. We just have the same thinking sometimes.
Is it different when they rotate guys in and you get somebody else next to you?
Not really, because working with Dan and working with June, I've been with June for the same time as Jack, so it's kind of the same thing. And Dan's made tremendous leaps, and I always talk to him about what we would do. So it's always pretty smooth.
What is Daniel so much better at? Coach Gregory said the same thing, that he's made some pretty big leaps recently.
Man, it's just his intelligence to the game has increased tremendously, and that allows him to use his tools, his strengths, more efficiently. So him knowing where the next rimmer is going to be, play action keys, just allows him to play faster and allows him to be a better player.
That connection with Jackson, did you guys have that since just showing up on campus together? Just how long has that bond?
Yeah, we were we were roommates, and the funny thing is, me and MJ were supposed to be roommates, but it ended up being me and Jackson. So we lived with each other for I think around 6 to 8 months, and really got to know each other. So we've always been close.
Ed, we're always looking for the young guys that are really ready to play because it seems to indicate they're going to be really good. Mm-hmm. Peholfa seems to have come in and just had no limitations on him, and he has seems like the proper attitude to be a defensive lineman. Yeah. Could you talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, literally the second he came in during winter workouts, you can just tell he had a different mindset than a lot of freshmen that come in. It's just he's just a grinder. He always wants to do extra stuff. Saturdays when we're working out on the field, he's also there, working, and he's always asking questions, and you can tell that he wants to be a good player and that he really cares about his craft. So you always appreciate that in a freshman.
He's got that one little extra, kind of the anger management thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those guys need up front.
Of course, yeah. You got to. That's why you gotta let them be free sometimes, just to do their thing.
Having Coach Gregory as the DC, does that make your job kind of freer and easier just to kind of play the defense from a structural standpoint? Is there any difference there?
I don't think. Yeah, because we're doing some things schematically that just clears up the whole conversation and makes a lot more things understandable. So it allows all of our guys to play faster.
What was it like having some people in the stands today? Does it create a little bit extra energy?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we had him in the spring, so I probably would say like I was more excited in the spring. But it feels normal. It feels good to be back, and I'm glad it's 2021 and not 2020. So.
Hey, with Trent and Kyler back there, I mean, Trent's just elite. With their ability to keep on guys, does that free you up to do some things differently that you don't have to worry about as much?
Oh yeah, it just makes you like focus on my job, because I know that like if it's a pass, I'm like, well, I'm chilling because I got great corners and great safeties behind me, so I can really just like feel confident and comfortable doing my pass drops and stuff. So.
Tom Hampton, he looks a little bit more like a linebacker than a safety. So it's a little bit different size back there. What's that thing?
I don't want to get his head too big, but yeah, he's just like a freak specimen, and like he's my roommate, and literally every time I get home, he's like sitting there watching film, asking me questions. Like literally last night, he woke me up in the middle of the night saying, like just asking me some random football question, and I was like, yep, I answered the question. So he's always trying to learn and be a better safety. So, I'm just so excited for him.
Is that annoying when you're in like a dead sleep and you get?
At this point, knowing that what we wanted to accomplish, I just kind of let it go and accept it. But, I'm going to wake him up eventually, so.
Jimmy said that ZTF is going to play this regular season. You guys have an office pool on what day, what weekend he's coming back?
I mean, I have no, you got to ask him. You got to ask Zahn and you got to ask Lake. That's a Lake question.
Oregon weekend, that would be a good milestone, but I don't know what his Achilles is going to let him do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I haven't followed his treatment routine, and I kind of like letting people have their processes, so I haven't really been bugging him about it.
All right. Anything else for Edefuan?